Museveni, swear in the name of the Almighty God that I shall faithfully exercise the functions of the President of Uganda and shall uphold, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution.
How can you want to impose democracy by killing millions of people? That's dictatorship, that's not democracy. It can't be imposed. Those who call themselves Democrats. But look, we've seen scenes where people were prevented from entering assemblies. We've seen scenes where forces stormed into assemblies to force the deputies to pass legislation. We've seen scenes worse than that, where people kill their protesters, yet they call themselves Democrats, and we are labeled as coup plotters. If this is democracy, I repeat, we do not want this democracy. And when you often see the incompetent, they don't seek to understand what the word democracy really means. They just cling to the definition he gave imperialism, and they start talking of democracy without really knowing the foundation. That's incompetence. We need to seek knowledge, to understand, to look at the world in order to redefine democracy the way we want it in Africa.
Breaking news that is sending shockwaves across the entire African continent right now. Burkina Faso's revolutionary leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore, has just issued what experts are calling the most explosive ultimatum in modern African diplomacy. In a stunning turn of events that nobody saw coming, Traore has publicly confronted Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni with a demand that has left the international community absolutely stunned. Free opposition leader Bobi Wine immediately, or face consequences that could reshape the future of East and West African relations forever. This is not a drill. This is happening right now, and what unfolds in the next 72 hours could change everything we know about African politics. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal will shock you to your core. For those just tuning in, let me bring you up to speed on why this moment is so explosive and why the entire world is watching. Captain Ibrahim Traore, the 35-year-old military leader who took power in Burkina Faso in September 2022, has become Africa's most outspoken voice for a new generation of Pan-African leadership. Since taking office, he has kicked out French military forces, challenged Western exploitation of African resources, and inspired millions of young Africans who are hungry for change and tired of the old guard. On the other side, we have Uganda's Yoweri Museveni, one of Africa's longest-serving leaders, who has been in power since 1986. And caught in the middle is Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, better known to the world as Bobi Wine, the charismatic musician turned politician who has become the face of Uganda's youth resistance movement. Bobi Wine has been arrested multiple times, allegedly tortured and subjected to what human rights organizations have called systematic persecution for daring to challenge Museveni's decades-long grip on power. But here's where it gets interesting. Until now, most African leaders have stayed silent on Uganda's internal politics, following the unwritten rule of non-interference. That all changed 48 hours ago when Ibrahim Traore broke that silence in the most dramatic way possible. According to sources close to the Burkinabe presidency, Captain Traore convened an emergency press conference at the presidential palace in Ouagadougou yesterday evening. What he said next left diplomatic channels buzzing and sent Ugandan officials scrambling. In a fiery 20-minute address, Traore declared that Africa's new generation will no longer tolerate the imprisonment and persecution of voices that speak for the people. We have watched in silence for too long, Traore reportedly stated, his voice unwavering and filled with conviction. We have allowed the old system to crush our brothers and sisters who dare to dream of a better Africa. Today, I speak not just as the leader of Burkina Faso, but as a voice for millions of young Africans who are tired of watching their heroes suffer in silence. The revolutionary leader then turned his attention directly to President Museveni. And this is where things got really intense. According to transcripts obtained by our sources, Traore said, "President Museveni, you have a choice to make, and you have 72 hours to make it. Release Bobi Wine and end the persecution of Uganda's democratic voices, or prepare to face consequences that will isolate your government from the new..."
Bobi Wine is an enemy of the old man in Uganda, Museveni. Museveni firstly must go and rest all his oversized suits as well, because it's a big problem. The man must just go. Bobi Wine is an inspiration. Bobi Wine is like Nelson Chamisa. We never said we don't agree with Chamisa's politics. Ideologically, we disagree. But the ability of the young to stand up is an inspiration to us. That's what we exist for as the EFF. We want to inspire the youth. We want to inspire Africans to challenge the status quo. So Bobi Wine is a brother to us. We want him to fight more, and he must never be discouraged by the old man. Age is on his side. He must know that even if he doesn't win against this dictatorship, nature will resolve his problem soon. He doesn't have a problem at all. He must soldier on. If he can't defeat him through using the state institutions and democratic processes, nature will resolve the man. There is no any old man who's going to win against the youth. I told Zuma that. I said to him, what you don't know is that we have time on our side. You will be watching us on TV, sitting at home in the villages there looking after cattle, when we'll still be running here. We're still running. For sure, Makanda Kanda is watching today, wherever he is. We're still running the show. I told him, why? We've got age on our side. Bobi Wine has got age on his side. We agree with him. Museveni, a friend of Cyril Ramaphosa, by the way. Museveni is a friend of Cyril Ramaphosa. Your friends will define you, by the way. Ramaphosa's friend, Museveni, who gave him those kettles. What do they call them? Uncle kettles. Now they're in-laws. No, they are not in-laws. That young man married in Uganda, and then Museveni went to the wedding because of, firstly, the courtesy of presidents, but secondly, because they are friends. They know each other. Museveni writes about it, that I've known this guy for some time. I even gave him kettles. So, Bobi Wine, soldier on, young man.
Do you know why people love Ibrahim Traore and hype his name? He's just a military leader, a coup, and a junta. This is a leader of a junta government. But why people hype his name? Why people loves him? Because he sacrificed his own life for the people. He chose peace over the war. He chose sacrifice over the manipulation. And I always remember these words that Traore has said, that in this matter, as African youths, it's either we fight or we remain slaves forever. And this is what I can tell the people of Uganda. It's either you fight or you will be remained forever and captives for the rest of your life. Because this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. And Ibrahim Traore has issued a statement to Museveni, telling him that all that's happening is against the will of the people. It's against the humanity. And we cannot sit down and continue to watch things happening this way. But something has to be done. Sometimes I feel like it's just the right time, the right idea of Africans people and the people to take over the government and make sure that and be in charge of their own countries than leaving to some people who have no interest in their life, who have no any idea to the people, who have no idea to build the country, but for their own interest and enriching themselves. And that's what is happening in the country of Uganda today. So when we are heading to the election period and the oppositions are being locked away, the people who speak against the governments are being silenced. The people are being killed. And then we call this a democratic leaders, a democratic government, and they're the same people who are criticizing other people, calling them names like terrorists, the military leaders, the undemocratic leaders who are dangerous to the community and society. So the question remains, who is, at this time, in this moment, who is dangerous to the community? Because it's better to have the military leader who is fighting against the intruders, who is protecting his people, than the democratic leader who is the one, instead of protecting, he's the one who is taking the life of his own people. And that's what's happening. That's the difference between the democratic leader and the junta leaders. Because at this time, the people of Uganda, if today Traore say that he wants to step down as the leader of this country of Burkina Faso, people will protest. Not because they want him to go, but because they want him to stay. But today the people are protesting the country of Uganda because they want their leader to stay, to step down. So who is to be celebrated here? And who is to be protected? Who is to be hyped here? Because African leaders are the ones who have given reasons to the people that it's better to support the military governments. Because they have failed to work under the democracy. They have failed to follow the rules of the lands. They have failed to protect their own people. Let's take an example of the country like Nigeria. Nigeria is a failed government today. It's known as a failed government who has failed to protect his own people, but going to intervene other people, fighting against their neighbors, while their own people are being killed every day by these terrorists. And the same government is going to fight against the military leaders, the military governments in Sahel. So when today someone else arise and take over the country of Nigeria, he will be doing this because the government and the president have failed to protect their own people. So everything today that's happening, like in the country of Uganda, in Nigeria, it's all the responsibility of the leaders of this country. Because if they would have been the responsible leaders, we would have not been able to experience all that's happening, all these genocides, all these killings, all this destruction that we experience today. So Traore has issued a statement. And I think this will have to be discussed. This has to bring something effectively. I expect that Africans will have to wake up and support to the people's side. Museveni must step down and allow the people of Uganda to make their own choice, but not living under the leader's choice. Power is supposed to be created by the people, but not by the leaders. Politicians today have turned the politics into businesses, but not a responsibility to the community. That's why today you are able to experience all that is happening. So today, Museveni has come out to warn the opposition leader side, and to warn everyone who is coming to disagree with the ideas that they are the one who won election. His son has come out to threaten the opposition leader, and Museveni himself has come out to threaten the journalists who are spreading news, calling it a fake news that is only there to cause chaos. But this is something that everyone has watched, has seen, and we are here demanding justice to be done in this country, because people must get what they want, but not what other people need, wants them to have. Be blessed, watching from. I'll not take much of your time consider subscribing, sharing, so that I can continue discussing on the next episode, and be blessed.